It's my first video on the channel, and I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna break the internet. How I'm gonna break the internet. Break the internet. The internet. How I'm gonna break the internet. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that's a crazy ambitious goal for my first video. As a one-man army with one camera and sitting in a college apartment without much going on in my room. I mean, it's pretty empty. I got my PC and myself, but yeah, it's just like I think I have to just set the tone for the channel because I actually do want to break the internet. I've come to realize, and I think many people do, that the market is as competitive as ever, but there's still a gap that still needs to be filled. And I've seen this when you go to people like Kai, you go to people like Speed, you go to even people like DDG who have recently started taking over Twitch, and you come to realize that it's lacking substance. When you're looking at the evolution of entertainment and production, Twitch and YouTube is all behind. Going back to DDG is trying to catch up to TV production / movie level production, right? That's what they're shooting for. And because they're shooting for this visual prowess when it comes to what are people seeing, I think they're missing the end schematics of what it means to build the latest stages of curated entertainment. For example, a league or entertainment niche like sports, and you look at the NBA doesn't necessarily prop up one person. It props up a team, it props up a city, and it props up even a country, and it goes to the Olympics, right? It's this whole network of webs that if you specifically put energy into one web, you're feeding a whole another ecosystem of dots that are connected to that web. And what I mean by that is if you were to watch LeBron, you're not only helping LeBron, you're helping this whole massive scheme when you're looking at it from a holistic view.
So to fill this gap that I see in content of meaning and substance, I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel and change the videos you see on YouTube. I'm not Mr. Beast, right? I'm not gonna make something you've never seen before. But the main aspect and the main goal of my channel is to create a community that you have never seen before. And the way I plan on doing that is not anything extraordinary or out the box. It's just something that's been in front of our faces and nobody's put together. And the way I plan on doing that is to get everyone from my decade, from 2000 to 2009, and have them create their own universes in their own year. And what I mean by this is going back to my channel in my name, a guy born in 2004. In the middle phase of my channel, what I plan on doing is to go all around the world, specifically start in Florida, right? That's where I'm from. I'll have to start locally and expand and find the most creative, unique stories and experiences, and even just regular thoughts about current events of my year. So let's just say a creator goes to Africa and they go, vlog a tribe, and they make a video and they're like, cool culture. My specific goal and the way I'm going to cultivate my audience is anybody who's born in 2004 is going to see their peers on my channel. Because if I go to an African tribe, I'm not going to go and talk to the 30 or 40-year-old dude. Like, I'm not going to do that because it's cool to see, but it's already been done. I'm going to go and find my peers and see how the kid from 2004 in Africa, who was born in 2004 in Africa, relates to the kid born in India from 2004. And this is gonna be even bigger because right now, I'm a one-man team. And I don't plan on covering my whole decade by myself. I will do it for as long as I have to do it, but not only will I create my own universe in 2004, I wanna go and find someone who's creative, who's a leader, and has a unique background besides me, and say, look, I'm trying to build this web, this network, this damn near modern day historical time print of what this decade is. And I want you to lead 2005. And the way I'm gonna pick my members is, there's gonna be 10 members. There's gonna be me, who was already in 2004. I'm gonna have someone for 2002, 2005, and so on, and have them run their own universes, but they're all gonna be these creative people, and it's just gonna birth a whole new thing because not only will we be the first to start it in our own decade? Someone born in 2015 who's in school right now may see like, oh, I'm going to do that when I get out of school, and I'm going to do that with my peers. And it may not even be the same way that I'm making it on YouTube. It may be through this augmented reality of Meta, you have kids playing VR chat now, and it's a whole different epidemic over there. So it's like that person may cultivate a group based on the characters that they disguise themselves as. And it's like leads to this. And it's this whole network that starts with this channel and this idea. I think at the end of everything, if everything's collectivized properly, we build the right teams, the right leaders of each decade did what they were supposed to do, which is build a following and build a network, right? How they build it doesn't matter. I don't care if it's the 2020s of straight gooners. If that's their network, that's their network, as long as they build it. But I would want to be behind the scenes for all of that, right? For my decade, I just kind of want to build the roster of 2003, 2002, 2001, and then have them build their universes. But I think my values lie in my ideas. The video I'm making now, this is an idea thought like 3 days ago. It's not like I'm premeditating, oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm thinking so far into the script. I can show you the notes. The notes on this notebook are just like, I did this all in one day, bro. It's really just bullet point, concept. And I just break it down like that. It's not much for me. It's not much for me. And I'm not saying to say like, I'm a genius or something, or I'm the greatest to ever. Like, I'm not any of that. I just know where my brain puts all of its time and focus into, and that's making ideas and making theories and making concepts. And I know that's my strengths, so I want to be the CEO, creative director, managing my decade in the future. I think that's where my value lies. Now, that is probably the most accomplished, and I don't even know if it's going to be peaceful for me to be there, even though I kind of want to be there right now. But I think it's definitely the most accomplished state that this channel will ever be in, and where my image will ever be in. But it's not going to be the most fun, right? When you see the owner of, let's just say, Amazon, it's not like he's doing fun stuff all the time. He's just managing. It's not the most fun thing to watch as a viewer. So even though that's going to be like, wow, I created this network, it's not the most fun part. And I think that's going to be the second phase of this channel. That's CEO's like phase 3, end phase. I don't even know if it's phase 3, but it's going to be end phase. But mid phase for this channel is definitely going to be the journey to finding the years that make up the decade, right? I'm not going to be responsible for, every decade, like I said before. But that journey, for my standards, for my crew that I want to build, for my team, for the members that I want to have, is going to be so entertaining and so tough. Because I said this early in the video, it's just like, I don't want to just scrap up together a crew in 6 months and, have maybe something local. Like, every person has to be unique. Has to be, bro. That's the only way that this network is gonna work. It can't be the average US content creator. It can't be the dude you may find down the street. It can't be a dude who acts like your friend, who you knew from kindergarten. Like, it can't be that. It has to be something you've never seen. That is my goal for my decade. Whatever the other decades do, I don't care. But I can promise you that's gonna be the most entertaining part of this channel. Finding those crew members. Because once I find them and put them together, it's gone from there. It's lights out. Because they're gonna create their own universes. So that's like me. Whatever, if I find 10 crew members, or I find 10 people on my roster, that's me 10x. Plus like another 3x, because I know they're better than me on the camera. I know I'm not the best on the camera. I already know that. I already told you what my strengths are. So that definitely is going to be the best phase of the channel. To bring it to the beginning phase now is probably going to be it's either going to be the most grueling, like, I mean, that's with anything you're going to try and build, right? The beginning stage is always going to be the hardest. Now, how hard it's going to be is dependent on me. How much will I reach out to people? How creative will I be with my propositions or proposals? Like, how do I market my channel? How do I market my brand? How do I market my image? And how much do I do it? And who do I send it to? Do I send it to a famous person and then get stuck in a loophole and I see numbers and I just go to a bunch of famous people and I lose this expansive network vision I have in my brain? Like, so I definitely think that this beginning early phase right now has to be just me building my brand and building my image. How long do I build my brand for? Is like, there's no timeline for it. There's no timeline for it. I think it just has to be on a spiritual level. How I see people approaching me and how I see people responding to my ideas. This concept will be the most basic and first of its idea. This community, a concept of building years, right? People may look at this in 50 years, if this goes big, right? And be like, yo, that was such a simple concept. Why didn't anybody think about it? I think of this concept as the equivalent of almost building a sidewalk. When I thought of this and came up with this, I'm like, bro, how has nobody done this before? Like, it just seems like easy pickings, bro. It's so basic yet so useful. And I think it'll carry on for so long. But definitely for those future generations, concepts like this would be limitless, bro. Limitless. Trying to think, if I start this, will it be worth it? Will all the time spent be worth it? And I don't think anybody will know, including myself. Will this idea conceptualize? Will the webs connect? Will the stars align? And will this be the start of a monster idea?